A warning. There will be a lot, and I do mean a lot, of cuss words coming out of me. But this is a therapy session, and I need a little therapy right now. Not going on camera today because I don't have my set up here. But let me ask you men a question. Have you ever wondered for yourself what does feeling like a man look like? I know what society has told us. Pay the bills, take care of family, not say anything, not show any emotion, all that kind of shit. Now, I get the taking care of family. That's what I'm desperately trying to do. I'm trying to get back on my feet. And I mean every word of that. I mean that desperately. But I asked one of my dearest friends a question. And the question was, why do I feel that because I kicked cancer in the ass, that life is trying to kick me in the ass? He responds, how so? My answer is, the more I try to get on my feet and in better shape, the more goddamn walls I have to scale. And it's the truth. But no one wants men to talk about the walls they have to scale, either personally or professionally or both. And believe me, I had to climb some goddamn walls. I had to climb a lot of them. I'm still climbing those motherfuckers. But sometimes when you're climbing the wall and you think you're at the top of the goddamn thing, you suddenly get another one to climb in front of you. For me, it's two things. 3, getting in better shape, getting back on my feet financially so I can take care of my family, and well, here's a bonus one. I can't remember the last. Putting my business together. Getting back on my feet. Getting better financially. Getting in better shape. Because I now have a goal to lose 40 pounds before my birthday. And I'm reminded of something that Dr. Charles Faulkner said to me. And he repeats this to me. And I hear it in my head all the time. The best way to get on your feet is to get off your ass. And he's right. The best way to get on my feet is to get off my ass. And I have gotten off my ass. I've met every single fucking curveball that's been thrown to me in 3.5 years. Every single one. I've had 2 toes amputated. I've lost a kidney to cancer surgery. My other one is starting to go, but I'm trying to prevent it. And I know I'm stubborn when it comes to food, when it comes to sugar and things like that. But I got a 90-day plan in place to get rid of that. But I am sick and tired, not just for me, but seeing other men try to get to that finish line and they get a goddamn obstacle in front of them. I'm sick of that shit. This morning, I thought I would lose my phone. I thought I would lose my phone. Fortunately, I went to Batteries Plus close to me. He told me how much it would cost to repair it, and I started crying on the spot. He said, "What's wrong?" I said, "I don't have the money." He said, "Well, let me see what I can do." He went in the back, he took a look at it, and all it was, something had gotten into the charging port. He said, "Don't worry about paying it. I'm going to seek a sponsorship from him." But that's how close to the edge I was this morning. I picked up my meds, spent a lot more money than I should have, but it's stuff that I need. It's stuff that I need. And the wife and I are planning a vacation for next month. You know, and to see the exhaustion and the frustration and the tears in her eyes when she's trying to put money away because she is the only one working right now. I'm trying to find a job, and I'll get to that in a minute. She's the only one working right now, trying to put money away, and yet it's going right out the fucking window. And I feel that a part of this is my fault. Why? Because of all the goddamn health issues that I've had to go through, starting in 2021. And it just flat pisses me the fuck off. As I said, I got a 90-day plan in place, not just to lose weight and get in better shape and have a better structure for myself and my business, but this 90-day plan is for me. For me. But today, I'm using this microphone to voice off some frustrations I've held for the better part of 3 months. And I can tell you right now, most of that is financial because my wife busts her ass every single day, whether it's working from home or she has to go out and work. And I'm frustrated because I can't even find one job. All the times I put my resume out there, all the times I put applications out there, I get the same goddamn message from most of them. Thanks, but no thanks. Disguised as, we took a look at your application and we decided to go another direction. Want another translation? Sounds like this. We'll keep your application on file for the next 6 months. Fuck you. Fuck you. I feel like that shit's closing in on me. I know it isn't logically. I know it isn't. But walk in my shoes for a moment. Walk in the shoes of a man who beat cancer and can't find a damn job or get any goddamn assistance from the state of Indiana, which is where I live right now. Walk in my shoes for a minute. Do you feel the frustration that I've been holding for a year? I said a couple of months. That's a lie. It's been almost 2 years that I've held this shit in. Every time I had a job that I can work, something happens with my health and I'm forced to leave. The first job I got, 2022, September, had a 2001 Ford Explorer, which I will have again by the summer. And I couldn't even finish the first day because my body gave out. Tried to go back to Speedway because I worked at Speedway in North Carolina. Know what that motherfucker in North Carolina said? Do not rehire. And they never gave me a fucking reason. Now I'm trying to find a job where I can work from home so I can do something. I'm getting my business together, but it's not profitable yet. I'm working on that part. Because one day I'm going to walk in this office behind me and tell Jody, you can stop working. You ain't got to worry about bills. I got us. I had it for a few months living in North Carolina, and then I got sick. God damn it. I had scheduled myself to go to an event in Chicago that happened yesterday. I put my GoFundMe out there. I put my Cash App out there. But every time a Cash App donation came in, I had to put it towards groceries, which is a purpose that I want to have and keep and not worry about having food in the goddamn house. Not just for me, but for Jody as well. And I couldn't get the $500 I needed to get a rental car and get up to Chicago for said event. Now, God bless Michelle Hilliard, Chris's mom. When I told her I couldn't make it, she says she totally understands. And I couldn't make it because there's only one car between Jody and I, a thing I hope to resolve within a month, this month. If nothing else, I want to get some donations in so I can get a rental car and start doing Uber again. And I'll use the money I make from Uber to pay for stuff in the house, get us caught up on bills, and start saving for the vacation that we want. Why do I have to do this fast? Because my wife is exhausted. All right? She's pursuing her doctorate so she really can become Dr. K. Why am I hell bent on doing this? Because God damn it, it's what I'm supposed to do. You want to know what feeling like a man looks like? If I had the camera on, I'd tell you, look in my eyes and see the frustration. Look in my eyes and see the tears. Look in my eyes and see the determination. But no one wants to talk about that. No one wants to talk about that. What are men told? Suck it up, buttercup. What are men told? Man up. What the fuck does that mean? What the actual fuck does man up mean? Somebody made that shit up and thrust it in society, and all of a sudden it's falling on the heads of men who bust their ass every day to try to help their family, and it still feels like they're not doing enough. Anybody been there? I'm there right now. I have no problem helping out around the house. I just had to trust my body to get through it. And if I get tired, I sit down for a while. I've gotten better at laundry. I've gotten much better at laundry. I'm not taking all goddamn day to do it. Thank you, Lord, for that. I'm walking now. I'm trying to walk better. I'm trying to walk better. I actually want to start running. I want to start running. Yes, I am 53 years old. Yes, I know my youth is behind me, but ask me if I give 2/5 of a half of a good goddamn about that. Which I don't. I want to start running. I have grandchildren to chase. Or they chase me. You get to a point sometimes where you just get fucking tired. I'm at the point where I'm just fucking tired. I'm tired. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. And I'm pissed off. I said it this morning when we were in a captain's meeting before we tried to do Snowman in the morning. Didn't work because I was so frustrated. And I got a hell of a compliment when Shane Lake, my super producer, said, we need our Michael Jordan at full strength. And he referred to me. And anybody who knows me knows my favorite basketball player in the world is Michael Jordan. Now I am really starting to take on that attitude and getting frustrated, not just from me, but from my teammates. I'm really starting to feel that attitude. I really am. It pisses me off that the content that I produce does not bring in what I hope to bring in. Do I want to turn this into a salary? You motherfucking right I do. I know I still have a lot of work to do. And damn it, I'm going to do it all. Every single step. I'm not cutting corners. I'm not taking shortcuts. I'm not taking the elevator up to the top. I'll climb every goddamn step I have to get there. And my goal is this summer to be independent and to look at my wife and tell her, I got us. So she can finally relax. For those of you who don't know, Jody is my main motivation. Dr. K has always been my motivation since the first day I met her 8 years ago, and she trusted me with her heart and her soul. Well, God damn it, I want to start rewarding that trust again. What does feeling like a man look like? I'll tell you what feeling like a man looks like. The tears that finally fall when you're told not to cry. The anger that finally boils up and spits out when you're told to tamp it down. The frustration that finally comes out and you get a finger pointed at you saying, oh, you have an emotional problem. Suck my dick. You don't know what the fuck an emotional problem is until you've been there. Kiss the back of my royal fat ass. I did an episode a year ago where the mantra of Diary of a Mad Snowman should be to every man out there within the sound of my voice. I believe you and I believe in you. I want every man to say that to another fellow man. Because men are not human beings anymore. That's right, I said it. Men are not being treated as human beings anymore. We're being treated as fucking animals. We're being treated, what's the song by Bette Miller? Beasts of burden. That's what men have become, especially in the 21st century when everything's fucking backwards. Now, did I say something in that last sentence to piss people off? I hope so. I hope people get a look and realize, hey, men have emotions too, you know. Men have limits too, you know. But every day, every fucking day, a man is being forced beyond his limits. And when he's forced beyond his limits and he comes out swinging, what happens? We get a finger pointed at us, and sometimes we wind up in fucking handcuffs. Ask me how I know from LaPorte, Indiana. Men are allowed and should show their emotions, period. Men are allowed to show their frustration. They should be allowed to show their frustration. You know why I say that? Because as I said for many years, what are men told? Well, what's the old commercial? Never let them see you sweat. That's bullshit. Because what if you're sweating like a pig in a situation and you see no way out? Huh? What if you're sweating like a pig around a person who means you harm, but you have no way out? Yeah, Jody Dials, I'm calling your punk ass out, bitch. Yeah, Chantel Davis, I'm calling your punk ass out, bitch. Never let him see you sweat my fucking ass. I'll say it again. Never let him see you sweat my fucking ass. That's bullshit. That's for you, BGS. I have held this for 2.5 years, honestly. I have held all this in for 2.5 years. And the big pharmacy doesn't help. They give you all these goddamn drugs just to keep you sick. Well, goddamn it, me and Jody are going to heal naturally from everything that we're going through, all the afflictions, all the time I fought stress. We're fighting stress, depression, and anxiety all at the same time. Let me say that again. You know, 3 things we're fighting: stress, anxiety, and depression, all at the same time. Both of us. And except for the circle that we built, you think anybody outside that circle gives a flying fuck? No. I'm tired. I'm tired of being pushed to the cliff of people pointing at me saying, you just need to hang up your headset. You just need to hang this dream up. Fuck you. I ain't hanging up shit. They will have to pry a headset or a microphone from my cold, dead hands before I quit. And you're hearing me say it here. They will have to pry a headset mic or a microphone or both from my cold fucking dead hands when I turn 102 years old before I hang it up. All I'm doing now is recalibrating and making things more solid and making things better. But me put this headset down, not a chance. Me give up this book that I'm working on, and I'm gonna start batch recording the book version of this podcast within a month. Within a month. I'm frustrated and I'm tired. I'm pissed off. I'm all that and then some. But God damn it, I ain't gonna quit. I had to say that aloud. I had to say that aloud because what are men you want the real scoop on this? Let me put it to you plainly. What are most hardworking men being told to do when they don't meet impossible standards? Quit. Give up. Back off. That's bullshit. Let me ask you men a question. When you bust your ass to try to meet impossible standards, how many times were you told to quit? How many times being told to quit was disguised as maybe you're not fit for this? Maybe you're not supposed to do this. Maybe you need to pursue something else. Shut the fuck up. Just shut up. I had someone ask me recently, when you do your streams, why do you put your GoFundMe, your Cash App, your Venmo, and your PayPal out there? It's pretty simple. I'm trying to turn this into a salary. I'm trying to turn this into something consistent. I'm trying to turn this into something where I can hand my wife a band of money and say, put it in a savings account. That's why. You want the simplest reasons of all? You want the simplest reason that I put all my funding options out there until I find some consistent work? Her name is Jody. How about that? Why do I push as hard as I can? Not just for me. Her name is Jody. Why do I work as hard as I do and try and continue to try to get organized and put together a system that is unbeatable, unstoppable? Simple answer. Her name is Jody. My name is Brian Snow, and I built this shit. Her name is Jody, and she's correcting every mistake I've made over the past 25 years in broadcasting. She sees the vision. She sees the direction, which for my play-by-play, I am concentrating primarily on women's sports because I've adored women's sports since 1982. That's it, and that's all. Why do I ask people for Cash App donations as much as I do? Her name is Jody. She told me herself during the conversation that we had, I don't want to be the one making the decisions all the time. It's called trust, and I've been too blind and too stupid lately and too afraid to accept it. I do now. I do now. What does feeling like a man look like? When you can look your mate square in the eye and say, honey, I got this, and mean it, and have all the emotion attached to it. That's what that looks like. Want to know what feeling? What this? You want to know what feeling like a man looks like? Getting a chance to voice your frustrations and no one judges you. Let me ask you men a question. How many times have you voiced your frustration and you've been judged like a motherfucker? Just because you finally cut the fuck loose. Huh? How about that one? Just because you finally decided to cut the bloody fuck loose. Just because you finally decided to go completely off because you can't hold it anymore, because you can't take it anymore, quite honestly. And to repeat something I said before, the finger is pointed at you, and it's bullshit. How many times? I'll ask again. How many times, gentlemen, have you had to hold things in that really got on your last good nerve? That's for you, Pops. That really got on your last good nerve. And I mean it, your last good nerve. To the point where you're so close to that cliff and stepping off and not coming back before you let your frustration out. I've said it before and I made the mistake and I went back to an old habit, and that's keeping it in. You know, wife told me, if you get really frustrated, go out behind the barn, yell, and cuss your brains out. I never do it until recently. Why? Because I'm tightroping. Well, not anymore. I was tightroping something that I have tightroped for years. What do other people think? Fuck what other people think. Fuck them. I do have to be careful because I do live in a small town, and a black man in a small town has a target bigger than Lucas Oil Stadium on his back. Let me say that again. A black man in a small town has a big fat target on his back. They're waiting for you to fuck up. They're waiting for you to do something stupid. They're looking for a reason to slap you in handcuffs. They're looking for a reason, period. What does feeling like a man look like? Trying your best to hold everything in a small town when all you want to do is just explode and cut loose. Do you know how bad I want Jody and I to get the bloody fuck up out of here? We've been wanting to get out of here since we moved back to this motherfucker in 2021. Hell, I had a fundraiser going in 2022 called 100 Days to Carolina because we were thinking, okay, come up here, make some money. I get healed up. We going back home to Carolina. You know what the fuck happened? Family. That's what happened. Now I can't even post this shit on Facebook because of too many goddamn prying nosy ass eyes. Motherfuckers. You're right, RC. When you ache desperately to give up, but you find out you can still keep pushing and grinding onward. That's what feeling like a man looks like. When you're right at the top of the cliff and you're ready to step off that sumbitch and not come back. But then just before you take that final step, you find a reason to turn around and walk back on solid ground and try again. Her name's Jody for me. I get so close to that cliff, and y'all don't know this. I get so close to that cliff sometimes that I feel like walking off and not coming back. Then I hear my sweet wife's voice in my head telling me, you better not. That's what feeling like a man looks like. On the good side of it, all I want to do is take care of my family. All I want to do is run my own company my way. All I want to do is provide a vehicle for myself and my wife to live comfortably and not worry about anything. Those are three desperate wishes of mine. What does feeling like a man look like? It feels like wanting something so badly. You get so close to that finish line, and then they back it up on you saying, "Come on, you got to keep coming." All Shane told me to do this morning was to breathe. I'm glad I did. I would not have been good if I did the show this morning, and plus I was running late. It's unacceptable. So we pulled the show today and we're going early tomorrow. And I'm glad. I'm glad. Want to know what feeling like a man looks like? Some days when you have a team around you to help you, but you're so frustrated you still feel like you're doing it alone. That's frustration talking. It was talking to me today. Boy, was it talking to me today. I plan to get back to doing this on a weekly basis. I plan to get back to my book. I plan to get back to doing the Brian Snow show. And that's probably going to be a daily thing. Only trick is I'm going to record that in advance to save my health and to save my energy. The only thing I wanted to throw right now in the middle of this field is a few hundred baseballs. People who know me, they see the anger in my eyes and they say, "What do you need? A bat, a bat, a helmet, an open field, and about 2,000 baseballs." And I'm not retrieving any one of them. I'm starting to feel better letting all this out. I've held it for too long, way too long. Shame pulled me back from the cliff. My wife's voice pulled me back from the cliff. And I stepped back. I'm glad I did. Shane reminded me of something I told him 13 years ago. Use your microphone as therapy. Well, this is my therapy. And who knows? It might become a daily spot. What do you think? Should I make this a daily diary? Put a one in the chat if you think so. Not too long, not too short, 20, 30 minutes. Letting my feelings out. Letting it all out. The frustrations of the day, things that have been on my chest. What do you all think? Yay or nay on a daily diary? 20 to 30 minutes. Put a one in the chat if you think it'll work. I leave you with this. If you don't think that us hardworking men, even with some of us being disabled, don't have frustration, then you're laying in more bullshit than you think. But because we're men, we're told to not show our feelings. We're told not to vent our frustrations. We're told to just keep going. Well, for that, here's a question for you. How can you keep going when chains are holding you back? FBA, I'd like a consultation with you about your comment because you're right. There are some things I know I can't put in this space. I know that. I know that. And I feel that. Today, some things just had to come out. Because if I hold on to it too much longer, it would be to my detriment. Once again, why do I do this? Aside of therapy for myself and having fun, why do I try to do as many games as I do? Why am I trying so hard to get Snowman Multimedia together? Not just for me. It's for Jody. It's for Cheyenne. It's for Sonia. It's for Sam. It's for Dakota. It's for the grandkids. I want to build and eventually leave a legacy for them. That's why I do it. And that's why I'm going to continue to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was kind of impromptu, but it's a suggestion that's been hanging on me every day. And FBA, I mean every word I said. I'd like a consultation with you. What's up, All Star G? With everyone here, I need a tremendous favor. If you all believe in this project, in me, in my wife, Jody, then please, I beg of you, show some support with a Cash App donation and show some support to Snowman's Road to Recovery. Because I want to lay my hands on a rental car, do some Ubering, bring in some money, and help my family. That's the reason I do it. That is the reason I do it. That's the reason I ask for help. That's the reason I swallow my pride and I ask for help. Because I need it badly. That's why. To everyone that has been here for me, I appreciate you guys so very much. But fellas, I need some help quick. As I said, Jody and I are planning a vacation so we can get away for a while. I want to get back to driving, have a flexible schedule, and I want my wife with me this summer when I bring in enough money to purchase a car. I know what it'll cost me to rent every week, and my goal this week is to bring in $600. $600 is my goal for this week. So I can get a ride to Indianapolis and pick out a rental car and start using it for the purpose that I need it to work. To work. They have some good fares up in Indy. And I love driving. And it'll allow me to take the pressure off of my wife. It's not that I don't love her when she drives me everywhere, but I got to have some independence too. I got to have some I got to have some kind of I got to have some kind of independence so I can work, Jody can work, and we come together at the end of the day. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for allowing me to do this and tuning into it. I'll see you next time. Thank you. And I love you guys. I'm not afraid to say it to other men. I love you guys. Thank you for the support, not just for me, but for Jody and my kids and my grandkids. I love you guys. I'll see you later.